Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center Top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full, and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull, and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert,
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it. And good afternoon. We welcome you into the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. I almost want to call this the Rogers Hampton Show today and just let Hambone have at it. But no, we'll look. Here's the thing, people. If you know me, if you've listened to me, you know I am not the guy that's going to be full of histrionics, going crazy. But you all suck, Cowboys fans. Saints win. No, that's not what we do here. Okay, that's not who we are. Now, you come at Hambone, you get him fired up, then yeah, you're going to catch the Hambone. Like that's what happens. If you come at Rodgers and speak nice to Rodgers, Rodgers will speak kindly to you. But you come at Rodgers and get the Hambone fired up, well, then the Hambone's coming after you. All right, and that's what happened last week. Got a lot of Cowboys fans that were talking noise. And again, and Rodgers, this is what I've gotten a lot of in the last 12 hours or so, 15 hours. I've gotten a lot of, well, it's not all Cowboys fans. Well, we know that. Not all Cowboys fans are the worst of your kind. Not all Saints fans are the worst of their kind. I tell everyone, this would be a bad place if we were all judged by the worst aspects of our characters, right? Like if I was just judged by my cynical nature and by my willingness to correct your English and your grammar and you know my egotism about things, like I would be a terrible person to talk to and be around. If Rodgers was only judged by the times that he was Hambone, then he would be a terrible person to be around. So look, we're not judging all fans of any franchise, okay? We're just judging the ones that were opening their mouths. All right? Now, what you didn't hear from me is you didn't hear me opening my mouth. I thought, Rodgers, that I gave a pretty reasoned approach to the game. I was not emotional about it. I broke down what I thought would happen, and I was wrong. I thought the Cowboys would win. But people came after Rodgers, got the old Hambone stirred up, and when you get the Hambone, you know, chances are you're going to get hit. And the Hambone got fired up, and it turns out the Hambone was right. He predicted a Saints victory. Now, I don't know that any of us predicted a 12-10 ball game.
Hey, boy!
That's right, and we'll talk to the Hambone here in just a second. I don't think any of us predicted a 12-10 game. But at the same time, I thought it would be reasonably low scoring. I think I predicted 21-17 Dallas. Speaking of, we do have our winner in the prediction pool. And by the way, we only had one winner. We had about 50 entries, I think, which was pretty cool for the fact that I came up with it on Friday. And so we had about 50 entries and only one winner. We didn't have to draw one, anything. There was one person who got it very as close as anyone did, obviously. That's right. What I want to know, though, is Hambone, are you how are you coming along on your packing? That's what I want to know.
You know what? I got the bubble wrap out last night
Right.
and started, getting some of the boxes I've got to put together. But since it was such a late night, I didn't get to bed till after midnight, and I get up at 2:30. Just kind of one of those days where, I may need a day or two to recuperate.
Yeah, and then you can start packing to go move into your new house.
Yeah.
That you won courtesy of, by the way, Raj, I'm going back to find the person that actually sent that to you.
Oh, yeah, he was so confident the Cowboys were going to just boat race the Saints in New Orleans that he was willing to put up the deed on his house.
Let's see.
And I don't have a house,
Here
so
it is,
I couldn't
Raj.
match the deed.
Here it is, Raj. Rogers, this was from Friday at 3. No, this is actually from Wednesday at 3:37 p.m.
Oh, no, he came at me early.
Rogers, I will bet the title to my home. The Cowboys walk in and house the New Orleans Saints. Not only did they not walk in and house the New Orleans Saints, they didn't even walk in and beat the New Orleans Saints. Terrible secondary. Yes, please. I'll take that against one of the best aerial attacks in football. Oops. Dak didn't even throw for 200, did he? Or just over 200?
I think just over.
Yeah.
Very measly 200.
Opal safeties, terrible linebackers. Lattimore got smoked for 150+, but a mediocre Lattimore. Cooper is going to have a field day with terrible defense, basically 11 tombstones back there.
When can I move in?
Yeah, put 9 in the box, spy on Kamara, make Bridgewater beat you, throwing the ball downfield. Well, the Saints didn't do any of that, by the way.
And this is not a college game plan.
Kamara was effective, not great, effective. I can guarantee after this beating, all we'll hear is, well, we didn't have Breeze.
Guess what? We didn't have Breeze last night.
You can take those schedules and throw them out. This game won't be close. One more for Rodgers.
How wrong could somebody be?
One more for Rodgers. That win last year against the Saints was with 3 backups on the offensive line. I'll be back on Monday afternoon to get Rodgers' take on this beating.
Well, it's Monday afternoon.
Rodgers, we were not going to get Rodgers' complete take just yet.
Yeah.
Just understand this, okay? I don't need Dallas fans to be sore losers, and I certainly don't need Saints fans to be sore winners, okay? That was a really good competitive game between 2 really good football teams. What it proved is, as we said the entire way going in, the Cowboys hadn't played anybody, and it showed. Once Kellen Moore had to go against a sound defense with a good defensive coordinator, he was a little bit lost. And that's fine. He's a young guy. He's going to learn from this, right? Dennis Allen's been in the league for a while. Dennis Allen smacked him around a little bit, okay? Held him to 10 points, especially with that offense and what we'd heard, 30 points a game, 400 yards a game. They got held to less than 300 yards total. They got held to 45 yards rushing. I mean, it was not good times for Big D. But what it showed is that's 2 really good football teams that could very well meet again, maybe again in the Superdome come January, which I think, that would melt the damn that would melt Shreveport down. It almost happened last year, remember? And we almost had the Shreveport meltdown. You thought this game was crazy. Wait till if they should meet each other at that point. But look, we're going to break it all down. I'm going to tell you why two main components of the New Orleans Saints were the reason they won that game. One was easy. One is a group of folks. We'll talk about that. We'll break down the Cowboys' troubles, why it seemed like they couldn't get the run game going, some interesting play calling from Kellen Moore. We'll talk about Teddy Bridgewater. We'll get after the Saints' offensive line, which had some real issues, especially with Robert Quinn. We'll get into all that. And I'm going to probably just give Hambone a segment. I'm just going to walk out the door and just let him turn his mic on, and he can release and vent all of the things he wants to say if he wants to.
Well, what I'm probably going to do that segment is just repeatedly play Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, which was the music playing out of the Superdome last night as all the fans went walking out.
Yeah. It wasn't if you like offense, it was not a great game. Neither offense was particularly good. That's because both defenses were very good. Rodgers, we talked about it going all week, did we not? Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith against Alvin Kamara, and they were, for the most part, up to the task of holding Kamara at bay. Now, he did have 69 yards rushing when it was all said and done. He had the one play where he broke 7 tackles, which, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The $90 million running back is on the team wearing black and gold, not the other one.
And honestly,
Ezekiel looked like he was just didn't know what he was doing.
Well, and the thing is,
speaking of play calling, up the middle again, up the middle again,
well,
up the middle again.
And it was interesting because I guess 11 of the 19 first downs that Dallas had, they ran. And people are talking about, well, that's not what Kellen Moore does. Well, understand, the Saints were giving the Cowboys run looks, right? The Saints weren't flying the safeties down into the box. They were keeping their safeties back. So when Dak looks and says, all right, I got a run play called. Now, if the safeties creep down and all of a sudden there's 7, 8, 9 in the box, well, yeah, he's going to audible out of that. Now, a couple of times the Saints showed pressure. Dak audibled, the Saints audibled, and they backed out and dropped 8. They did it 2 or 3 different times where they were showing there were 7 guys standing at the line of scrimmage. Dak audibled out of it. Saints then audibled, dropped everyone, and only rushed 3 and got what they wanted out of that. But for the most part, in that game, the Saints didn't have to run their safeties up. And that was the huge difference in this game. It was because the defensive line and linebackers were able to contain Ezekiel Elliott on their own. And when you have that, when you don't have to commit safeties to the run game, well, now you can't do anything if you're an offense. You can't run the ball. You can't throw the ball. We didn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We sucked. Remember how they bleeped that? They bleeped the word sucked back at the when that quote first came out in like 94 or whatever it was. And it was Morris saying we couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We sucked. And then every time they said suck, they would bleep it. And I'm like, what was he saying? And then I heard I'm like, he said sucked and they bleeped that? Like, come on, man. That's not that bad. So it was a dominant performance up front, really, by both sides. Dallas's D-line, Saints' D-line, both were dominant. And that is the major reason why neither offense could get going. Because when you don't have to commit extra guys out of their position, you really can't do much. If the front 6 or 7 are stopping the run game, then you don't really have much of an opportunity to do anything else because they're not having to commit guys. And Raj, I'm kind of going early on this. I know it's in the first segment, but the other thing was there were 2 main groups / people that were the reason the Saints won this game. The D-line and Marshawn Lattimore. Because Lattimore was able to lock down Amari Cooper without needing help. They didn't have to bring a safety over the top. They didn't have to worry about that. Lattimore was up to the task. And because of that, they could roll safeties over to Eli Apple's side, to Williams' side, all that. And because of that, the Cowboys never got anything going. Dak couldn't find Cooper. The couple of times he threw at Cobb dropped it, including one big third down that he dropped. It was won up front by both teams' defensive lines. Those were the best units on the field last night. The Dallas defensive line was fantastic. They sacked Teddy Bridgewater 5 times. The Saints D-line was fantastic. I think they had maybe 2 sacks of Dak, but most importantly, they held Ezekiel Elliott in check, and that was the important thing.
And when Dak doesn't get help, he's just an average quarterback.
Yeah, and this is what we've been saying, Rod. This is why I keep mentioning I don't know if Dak's worthy of the money he wants because I'm not sure that he can do it alone.
And he's proven he can.
Right. And Drew Brees, Drew Brees doesn't have a running game. There's a good chance he can throw for 350 or 400 and win a game for you by himself.
Texans game.
Yeah. If you have a guy like Dak Prescott, I'm not sure if when the run game's not working and he's having to make tight throws into tight windows, he's having, and it showed last night.
That's just not his game.
Now, keep in mind, and by the way, I was reading a Dallas blog, Raj, which made me laugh, and he talked about. Well, it was after the game.
Okay. Oh.
And they were breaking down the game, and they were talking about how this is an offense that should have taken advantage of a bad Saints defense. and he actually used the statistic of yards per play allowed. And I wanted to say, at some point, stats lie, right? You need an eyeball test. And if you don't understand that the Saints do have one of the best defenses in the National Football League, you're just not paying attention. Now, Marshawn Lattimore hadn't played up to his standards early. He'd given up matter of fact, I think he was the corner that'd given up the most yards so far this year. All right, but we all know what he's capable of, and he proved it on Amari Cooper. The front 4, having Rankins back, how big was that?
Just to have him in uniform and on the field for that mental edge. Well, and apparently he could have come back the week before, but Seattle, bad weather, cold, you don't want to do it.
And he got a few snaps in. I don't know how many snaps he ultimately ended up playing, but he had a few, and he was in there. Malcolm Brown, the Patriots,
the
guy from the Patriots.
Yes.
Huge pickup. He was really controlling the middle. Brown and Sheldon Rankins next to each other, and then Onyemata coming in. And then
Big
of course you got
sack there at the end of the game. Huge.
And Cam Jordan. I mean,
you forget about Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan, who's on the outside. Opposite him, you've got the kid from UTSA.
Yeah.
Or Eric McCoy, the center for the Saints, who Al Michaels said was from Texas A&M San Antonio.
Oh no, did he?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He said,
Eric McCoy. They did the lineup, whatever, and he was spotlighting Eric McCoy. And he said, Eric McCoy, the rookie from Texas A&M San Antonio.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I didn't hear that. I had your boy Zach Streif up on the radio in the background because I get tired of listening to Collinsworth and that
I will say,
sling blade voice he's got.
I really enjoy Chris Collinsworth because I think he more than anyone I've seen really embraces analytics, and I like that. But he can also tell you what goes on. And I'll say this for Collinsworth: there may not be an analyst better at identifying what happens on the line and then being able to get a replay of it and know it. I mean, he just watched the play, and he's trying to watch everything at once. He's got to watch pass routes. He's got, he's trying to watch.
He's got to listen for Al Michaels' mistakes,
right?
Because apparently Al Michaels also said that Drew Brees hurt his thumb on a helmet.
Oh, well, I mean,
we had 2 or 3 people this morning say they heard that and texted
I missed that.
I did too. I had the sound down.
Al missed a few things last night.
That's what I'm saying. Like I guess I've been listening to these two guys so long that it's starting to just be kind of murmur to me.
It sounds like it does seem like maybe he's losing some zip on the fastball a little bit. He's getting up there. He's pretty old. But I like Collinsworth because he is able to see things in real time so well that when he goes back to the replay, and the replay is, 2 seconds after the play ended, he's going to tell you, well, watch the guard here. He hits the reach block on this one, then he gets to the second level, and you're like, how did he note? Like, how did he see that? But yet he can also tell you what route combinations the wide receivers are running. He's really good. His voice can be grating. I know a lot of people don't like him. I think just from a broadcasting standpoint, I think Collinsworth is very, very good. But we have an hour and 45 minutes to get into all of that. All right, and we'll get to your text messages. Please send them in, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. And I'm gonna say I need to find out the address of your new house, Raj. I'd like to know. I'd like to come by and visit, maybe bring you a housewarming gift.
I'd kind of like to know where it is, too.
Yeah. So should I text this texter and ask him if he's bringing the deed by the station?
Just wait and see. He said he was going to call back.
He said
he was going to call back Monday afternoon to stick my nose in it and rub my face in it. And we'll read that text again.
He said
because there was nothing in that text that was correct from start to finish.
I'll be back on Monday afternoon to get Roger's take on this beating. There you go. Yeah, and I think by the way, he also, for all of the talk about how they're going to walk in and house the Saints, do you know what his pick was, Raj?
What?
28-21.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I see, that's what I'm saying. In a Cowboys' mind, that's a housing?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's also the one that asked if you would be a brown recluse if you were an insect.
Oh, man.
I say he. It could be a she.
Yeah,
for
it
all
could
I
be.
know. So 318 number. We'll wait for you to chime in and let us know when you're delivering the deed to your house. I'd like to know where it is, because I want to get Raj a nice housewarming gift of some kind. I want to take care of my boy. Yeah. All right, it is the Patrick Netherton Show. We're here on 1130 The Tiger. We are going to break down the Dallas Saints game back and forth. Don't worry, we'll have it all for you. We definitely want your phone calls and texts, your thoughts on what you saw. We're already getting some texts in. Keep piling them in. I want to know, Cowboys fans, does this make you nervous moving forward? Is this are you maybe finally coming to the realization that you played garbage to start the season, and when you faced a team that has an idea of what's actually happening in the world, that you weren't as good as you thought you were? Do you think you were playing conservatively? I've heard a lot of people going after Kellen Moore and his offensive game plan. And yes, he did run on 11 of 19 first downs, but was that because Jason Garrett wanted them to be conservative, knowing that their defense was standing up to the Saints' offense? All right, someone talked about how the Saints held the time of possession so much. The Saints are one of the slowest teams in football, and I don't think people understand that. because of how efficient their offense is. I don't think people really get the fact that the Saints are slow. They get in the huddle. Drew is always taking the play clock down to less than 5 before he snaps it. Occasionally they'll run a tempo play once in a while, but for the most part they're huddling. They're getting out of the huddle. You know, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Breeze is checking protections. He's telling you who the Mike linebacker is, all of that. And then he calls for the football with 3-2-1 on the clock. The Saints are a slow moving football team. And actually, that's one of my real frustrations with the Saints through the years is with all the weapons that they've had, especially at the quarterback position, I would think you would go tempo just because you could probably steal points off of a team just by tempoing them. But you're not allowing the defense to sub. You're not allowing them to get the play calls in as easily as they want. You don't allow them to be as exotic as they want because you're not giving them time to huddle up and think, get the call in, all that stuff. It actually boggles my mind that the Saints don't go tempo more often. But the Saints, this is what they do. They squeeze you. They take the life out of the game, or take the life out of you. They squeeze the game. They shorten it with their possessions. They had a 7-8 minute drive last night. That's what they do. And then what ends up happening is if their defense gets stops, their offense usually remains efficient enough that coming down the stretch, they're going to find a way to outscore you. And it's what happened last night, even though they didn't have a touchdown. By the way, did you see they asked Sean Payton the last time he's won a game without a touchdown? And he said, I can't remember. The Saints, the last time they won a game without a touchdown was 98, before Peyton ever got there. They got there in, 05? Well, the Saints' last win was 98. It was a 9-3 win, I think, over the Bucks, I believe. So that was 98, and Peyton said he doesn't ever remember a game where he didn't score a touchdown and won. And the Saints did that last night. So a lot of crazy stuff that happened last night. Look, a lot of ways you can, speaking of a lot of ways you can get in touch with the show. You can watch us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Netherton Show, facebook.com. Go to Facebook, search for the Patrick Netherton Show. You can watch that way. Hello, Lord Hester. I see him peeking in on us on the Facebook Live. Yeah, he's in the window. What is Lord Hester doing in the window? You can find us there. You can also find us on the app. Just go to the app and download it. 1130 The Tiger. Search for it on Google Play or the iTunes Store. Don't forget, we're giving away a pair of tickets to this week's home game against Utah State. LSU going to be wearing the purple again. It'll be the first time they've worn purple for 3 straight games since, I believe, 93, I think was the stat I saw. Early 90s, something like that. So they'll be wearing purple again for Utah State. But if you'd like a chance to win tickets, a pair of tickets to go down to the Utah State game, then all you have to do is download the app, the 1130 The Tiger app. Make sure you have the notifications turned on. They will send out a notification to you when it is time to enter, and you will be able to enter to win a pair of tickets to the home game against Utah State on Saturday. By the way, Raj, don't know if you know this or not, but Saturday is a home game for LSU, and Sunday's a home game for the Saints, and it's my bye weekend. Yeah, I'm just saying, poor Hambone after last night, he's dragging. I'm like, it may take him until Saturday, till he's back till he's even close to 100% at this point. But the only real issue with it is the Utah State game's the early game. If it was like a 6:00 game, then you go down there, you watch it, you go to New Orleans, you stay in New Orleans Saturday night, you get up on Sunday, it's a noon game for Tampa, and then you head on back after the game. Bingo, bango, bongo. Bob's your uncle. But the 11 a.m. game for Utah State means that you can't really get a lot of pregame tailgating in. You have to do postgame tailgating. And then, it kind of ruins the whole thing. It needs to be a night game against Utah State. Nevertheless. All right, so Facebook Live app. You can also catch us, of course, on the radio at 1130 The Tiger as well. We're on Twitter. I am at PT Netherton. He is at Hey Boy Rogers. Easy for me to say. And the show is at Netherton Show, so find it that way. And let's see. App, Facebook Live, Twitter, radio. Oh, the man who correctly predicted last night's game, ladies and gentlemen.
The lollipop Jim, the lollipop Jim, the lollipop Jim, and in the name of the lollipop Jim, we wish the
Hey, boy.
Hey, man.
What's up?
My poor boy Hambone. See, Hambone wakes up at 2:30 in the morning, and so when it's a late game, a Sunday night game, that thing ends. What did it end about 10:30 or so, something like that.
Yeah, 10:40, something like that. And with all the extra national commercials, oh my God,
it takes a while.
Oh.
And by the way, Raj, at one point I want to say it was middle to late fourth quarter, and the Saints were on that last drive trying to go down and kick a field goal, and they were around at midfield, I think, and then the picture just went blank.
Yeah.
Ours
did too.
Yeah, and then they switched to like the end zone camera, and then they came back like it was about a 20-second.
No, it's right there at the end.
I'm just going like, what are they doing?
And I'm like, oh my God, a Dallas fan at the studio just pulled the plug. Oh man,
I'm like, what
come
just
on.
happened? So luckily it popped back up.
Yeah, thank goodness. Like I said, I had the radio going, so I knew the game. Okay,
yeah,
there's just a TV thing.
Right.
I still hear Zach.
The power didn't go out in the Superdome
again.
Yeah. So it was a late night, I know, for you, and then an early morning.
And I'm one of those, believe me, I didn't go to bed right after the game. You think I was going to go to bed after that? So it was midnight or so before I finally laid down. Then I get up about 2:30, 2:35. Because I knew
Are you a loud TV watcher for things like that? I mean, are you like yelling at the TV and
it just depends.
Okay.
With the Cowboys game, a little more than normal because my daughter stayed in town to watch it with me, and I think she even said she commented on you. Yeah, it got pretty loud in the Hampton household.
That's what I was asking, actually, because I kind of had the answer to my question. I just wanted to see if you'd cop to it.
My other half, Shannon, she just wasn't a big sports person. And has definitely never seen a daddy-daughter combination like me in a little bit. That she knows the game. She knows when there's a mess up. Well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And then it just – so having my daughter in town too. So, like I said, it was after midnight before I finally laid down. And believe me, I'm not a person that goes – I've never been a fast sleeper. Yeah. So I might have got an hour of steady sleep.
Yeah.
But when I got up at that 2:35 for a second, I was like – man, I could lay down just for – but I knew myself, so I went ahead and got in the shower. I took like a 25-minute, used all the hot water shower.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to go now. All my hair's in the right direction. Let's go.
The arm hair has to be in the right direction. Can't have arm hair going the wrong way.
I felt clean. I was like, okay, let's go.
Let's attack the day.
Yes, go.
Hambone's the only guy I know that washes his hair every morning and then just puts a hat on it. I'm like, usually when your hair's clean and good, you know that's when you want to style it and you're looking good. But maybe like if you see me in a hat, chances are I'm either going somewhere. Like I went to the Revel this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on yesterday actually.
All right.
And I put a hat on because I didn't want my forehead to burn.
Yeah.
So I put a hat on. But the times you'll see me in a hat are few and far between. Usually if I'm wearing a hat, it's because I didn't get a chance to shower that morning. My hair's doing all kind of craziness.
Yeah.
So I just put a hat on top of it to cover it up.
Yeah.
But that is very. I don't think I've worn a hat in here at all.
I don't think so.
If I have, I always just take it off.
Yeah.
All right. So, Hambone, me. I'm Patrick Netherton. He's Rogers Hampton. We're going to break this whole thing down for you. We want your phone calls at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. We want your texts at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Coming up, lots of Saints-Cowboys breakdown. I'll tell you about why the Saints were so effective at stopping Ezekiel Elliott. I kind of got into it a little bit earlier. We will discuss that. Got to tell you how the picks went from last week. I told you I was due for a bad week, and I got one. I'll tell you why I picked the Saints game the way I did. I had a particular strategy in mind that involves the show after ours. And Raj, I've got to tell you who won the gift certificate from the picks. So, by the way, we ended up with about 50 of them, which is not bad for just randomly doing this on a Friday. Just deciding that. I didn't even publicize it at all during the week. Just kind of came to me on a Friday. So I'll tell you who won the pick segment, and we'll wait to see if this particular texter shows up at the radio ranch with a deed to his home to hand over to Rogers Hampton because hey, he did it. He's the one who had to say it. Rogers just is going to collect the benefits. That's what he does. All right, so plenty of Saints-Cowboys breakdown. Your calls, 320-1130. Your text, 6570-HAM, 657-0426. Saints fans, are you completely over the moon that you're 2-0 with Teddy Bridgewater? And Teddy hasn't really done much. He's just kind of game managed. But you're 2-0. You got to be thinking, okay, you're going to be way better off than you thought you were without Drew Brees. Cowboys fans, how do you take this loss? Is it we had a bad night? We finally played a good opponent? Both? Maybe we're not as good as we thought we were? Maybe we're still good. We just a bad night and a good opponent. Do you now understand why we keep talking about the first three teams you faced this year? I need to hear from Cowboys fans. I need to hear from Saints fans. Where are you after this game last night? 6570-HAM, 657-0426. Of course, Rogers is going to play the House of the Rising Sun. There's a house in New Orleans. They call it the Superdome. And Cowboys fans go in, and then they go home.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the Rising Sun. O'Reilly.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on batteries and accessories. Plus, save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, just $28.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Using an overpriced trash bag?
Pricey, pricey, pricey!
A bag that breaks?
Whippy, whippy, whippy!
Or a smelly bag?
Stinky, stinky, stinky!
Time to switch to Hefty Ultra Strong trash bags, always at an ultra low price.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
They're our best bags yet, and they cost less than Glad Force Flex, where sold head-to-head, so you'll be
Happy, happy, happy!
Hefty Ultra Strong with Arm & Hammer odor control. Also available in heavy-duty black bags.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
You may not notice it's a protein bar. Dark chocolate and crunchy peanuts will do that. Plus, they'll get your family moving again.
Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving.
Nature Valley Peanut Butter Dark Chocolate Protein Bars.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
There's nothing better than LSU football on a fall Saturday night in Death Valley. But driving away with a great deal on your dream vehicle is a close second. We've got something for everyone at Red River Chevy, from the Trax all the way to the Silverado and Corvette. We'll make sure you're getting a deal, not an ordeal. Every discount, every rebate will be on the table. We'll work for you. Red River Chevy, making car buying fun since 1931. RedRiverChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Shreveport Bossier Family Dental, proud to announce they're providing Invisalign treatments for all their patients. Schedule your free consultation on Invisalign, and you'll get a free Zoom whitening treatment when you begin your Invisalign treatment. You heard that right. Absolutely free Zoom whitening with an Invisalign consultation. Find out more online now at ShreveportBossierDental.com. ShreveportBossierDental.com.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835 with our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC and a 4-wheel independent suspension. It's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
So guys, how many of you are guilty of using your wife or your girlfriend's shampoo in the shower? Quite a few, I imagine. Have you considered the importance of using a product designed for your hair? Yes, men's hair. After all, your hair is different. Dove Men Plus Care has created a hair care range designed to fortify men's hair and give it the care it needs to stay strong and healthy. Do your family and your hair a favor and get your own products. Dove Men Plus Care for stronger, more resilient hair. Available at Walmart.
You may have noticed that in commercials these days you hear a big % off or a big dollars off MSRP, but you rarely hear what is the price. So at Chevyland, we are offering you a 2019 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab Custom Edition with 20-inch aluminum wheels with 4G LTE Wi-Fi with locking rear differential and a great-looking truck for just $29,995. That's over 22% off MSRP. So whether you want to shop online at Chevyland.com or come by the dealership at 7500 Erie Drive, we do business the way that you want to do business because we care about you.
1130 The Tiger, Bossier City's home for LSU sports.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
Looking at you, you were looking at me. Always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. This is a good song, too.
Just as I thought it was going all right, I found out I'm wrong when I thought I was right. It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all.
Huh, wonder why Rogers picked this song. Oh, just lost his house. Oh, man.
Always the same, it's just
We welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show. Ryan chimed in on the Facebook page. Fans are fans, some good, some bad, except Falcons fans. They're all bad. We appreciate that, Ryan. Yeah, the team's mirroring their fans at this point, I believe. All right, give us a call at 318-320-1130. Text us at 318-6570-HAM. We got a phone call. Tim joins us. Tim, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing much. I just wanted to call in and just say about three things. First of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a Cowboys fan.
All right.
I have been since I was 11 when I went to the very first game I ever played in Texas Stadium.
Wow.
My dad took me there.
That's awesome.
But not all Cowboy fans are nuts.
No.
Okay,
not all fans of any team are
It just
nuts.
makes it sound like we are, but we're really not. Some of us are normal people, too.
Yeah.
And but here I got a couple. First of all, you got to remember what the Cowboy fans are hoping now is what happened last year, and then the year that the Saints won the Super Bowl is the team that was undefeated at that time got upset, and then like last year y'all should have made it to the Super Bowl,
right?
But didn't, and then back in 2009 you did make it to the Super Bowl, so we're hoping that role is reversed. But here's my question. Who do y'all think are the two top teams in the NFL right now?
Oh, boy. I was waiting on this at some point, and to be honest with you, I don't know. I want to put Kansas City up there, and I'll say this. I don't think any of the top teams in the NFL right now are in the NFC. If I had to pick two, I'd pick KFC. I'd pick KC. I would pick KFC, too, because I like chicken. I'd pick KC, and I'd probably pick New England, to be honest with you, Tim. I don't know that anybody in the NFC necessarily is there yet.
All right, well, I would agree. That's probably most people, but y'all getting on the Cowboys for the people that they played?
Yeah.
New England actually played a worse schedule than the Cowboys have.
Well, except for the
Their
fact that
teams were 0-9 going into yesterday.
Well, yeah, say Buffalo at least was 3-0. By the way, Tim, that was one of the games I lost was New England-Buffalo. I thought New England would beat Buffalo bad. I thought a 7-point line. I thought that's too much. And it looked like they were. They threw a pick in the end zone, and then everything changed. You know what yesterday was, Tim? And I mentioned this on social media. Yesterday is the week that always happens early in the NFL season, what I like to call you think you know what's going on in the NFL week. Right? We all think by this time we have a handle on who everyone is, that we kind of know what everything is, and then Buffalo stays close with the Patriots. Tampa goes into L.A. and just beats the Rams to death. Dallas and the Saints play a 12-10 game. This is that week where we think we know what's going on in the league, and we just don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you had told me that last night before the game started that Dallas was going to play and hold the Saints to not a touchdown, I would have taken that before the game started.
I think anybody would.
Yeah, and then it still ended up getting beat. So I told a guy where I work, which is at Benton High School. By the way, Leslie Nelson told Roger, she's a big Cowboys fan too. She said she didn't want to talk to him today. So
I love it. By the way, Tim,
I just wanted to know because everybody's talking New England up, and I know that they won the Super Bowl, and I know they're always good, but everybody fails to mention that the people they have played are actually had a worse record than the Cowboys. Teams, but nobody ever mentions that.
Right,
You
they
know what
do.
I mean?
They haven't played anyone either. We talked about that last week when I was making my picks. We mentioned that. No, they haven't played anyone either. That being said, their defense has been so good. Even against 3-0 Buffalo, holding them to 10 points. Their defense. Belichick is the main X factor in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Tim, I've got your game this week. I've got Benton at Houghton.
I have
the VSN
officially
Louisiana.
I retired from coaching football, and I'm not the head basketball. I retired from basketball. I just do golf now.
Oh,
but
hey.
We will be there at the Houghton game, and so,
Well, look, I'm going to be up in the press box wearing my blue VSN Louisiana shirt. Come by and say hi, man.
All right, we'll do. And
hey, hold
Rogers,
on.
I was just kidding. Leslie still likes it.
No,
So,
hey, and what makes it doubly bad for her, she's an Alabama fan, too. So she's a Cowboys fan and a Bama fan.
Hey, I went to school there, and I got to meet Bear Bryant when they were recruiting me, so – there ain't nothing. Everybody hates me around here.
That's a tough place for you to be, Tim.
Hey, thanks for the call, Coach.
All right, man. Y'all take it.
All right, you too, buddy.
It. Don't be a stranger. Feel free to call us back. That's good stuff. Yeah, well done, Tim. And here's the thing. I don't know that anyone really has a handle on what the NFL is right now. And to me, that's the significant aspect of this. And that's why I talk about that was this week, Rogers, was you think you know what's going on in the NFL, but you're wrong week.
Yeah.
Tampa goes in. Minnesota gets housed. Cleveland puts up 40 on Baltimore, who's supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. The Patriots just barely escape from Buffalo. The Saints and Cowboys play a 12-10 game. This is that week. And by the way, Raj, because of so many underdogs winning this week, Vegas hammered the gamblers this week. I saw several tweets. I think most of them were from Darren Ravel of ESPN, but a lot of tweets that were, oh, by the way, I talked to a bookie at Vegas, one of the owners of this particular sports book, and they're talking about how they made a killing this weekend on the NFL because everyone was betting these things they thought they knew, and everything turned out to be wrong. I mean, Detroit almost beat Kansas City. Kansas City needed a late rally to come back and win that game. The only NFL bet I got right, Rogers, was I took the over on Baltimore-Cleveland, and that game was like 10-7 at halftime. And then the second half was crazy. So this was that week where we all think we know about the NFL, but we really don't. Carolina beating your Texans. That was a surprise, I think, to a lot of people. This is that week, man. And it just goes to show you the NFL has so much parity in it. And you forget that even though this team may look terrible, they still have all professional athletes on their team. And so they have just as much chance to come in and beat this team. Now, maybe not the Dolphins. I think maybe we can say the Dolphins don't have that. But you know what? The Dolphins aren't going to go defeated. They're not going to be 0-16. You know how hard it is to go 0-16? Who was it? The Lions did it last? Yeah, wasn't it the Lions? Yeah. But, yeah. Greg, you want to tell us, boss man, you want to tell us if the Lions went 0-16 last? I believe they did. But this is that week in the NFL where you just don't know. You just have no idea what's going on. All right, we have a lot of texts to get to at 318-657-0426, 318-657-0HAM. And don't forget, you can come follow along with us on Facebook Live. Come join us there and give us your thoughts. We'll take
all right.
We'll take thoughts and comments and whatnot from there as well. So if you want to jump in there, you can do that. All right, let's get some texts, Raj. We got them packed up here at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. High Rail said, get them, Rogers. By the way, Raj got to meet High Rail at the North Webster game. He mentioned that he was going to come by and say hello, and he did. It was good to see him.
Good deal, man.
Daughter's on the dance line.
Okay.
Got to meet John Ware which was nice. He's he's Rogers. John Ware is kind of if you put on a few lbs, you and John Ware could be related to each other.
Really?
He's kind of he's not a tall guy, but he gets on that sideline, man. He is fiery. It was great. It was fun to watch. It was great to meet him.
Awesome.
I had not met him before.
Awesome.
He's got kind of a longer goatee than you have. He's got kind of the shaggier goatee, but he's a ball of fire. And I got to meet Lee Doty, the head coach at Sterlington.
Okay.
Sterlington ended up winning that game. By the way, their very talented tailback Dallas Rager went out with an injury, so I do want to just send our best wishes to him. That kid is really good, and went out with an injury in the first half, did not come back. Sterlington ended up beating North Webster courtesy of one pop pass and a whole bunch of fullback dives out of that veer. But we do want to say very much our best wishes to Dallas Rager from Sterlington. I don't think it's any sort of serious injury, but you definitely want to see him back and doing good things for Sterlington. Let's see. First, Chad says, first off, nice win, Saints. Not sure why Dallas changed everything they did the first 3 games versus the Saints. This was not the same game plan Dallas used the first 3 games. Dallas got cute, went back to last year's playbook with Zeke. Dallas got out-coached. Dallas played not to lose instead of playing to win. It's like Les Miles took over the team. Well, a couple of things. One, we mentioned that Dallas ran 11 times on first down, which is definitely not what Cowboys fans were anticipating. But I think, Raj, and you can tell me if you think I'm an idiot for thinking this, I think Jason Garrett, knowing that Teddy Bridgewater was on the other side and seeing how well his defense was playing, knew that this was going to be a tight, low-scoring game, and I think he wanted I think he felt like he could play sort of base offense and win this game, that they could go into a bit of a shell. That, look, the Saints defense had not been statistically good the first couple of weeks, but we know they have the capability. And I think by the time they realized that, wait a second, our O-line's not just blowing their D-line off the ball, they're not just giving Zeke, 5, 6, 7 yards a carry, I think by then it was too late to turn around and scrap that game plan and try to go to something else. That's just my theory. I don't know that has any facts.
It's funny you would say that, because somewhere along this Patrick Netherton show, I was going to bring up, and I'm not being a mean Saints fan, the first time they split screen the TV between Sean Payton and Jason Garrett, I immediately went, advantage Saints, because Jason already had that sweaty, confused look that he gets.
So you did.
But I really did. When they split screen both coaches, I said, there's a chance we're going to win this thing.
So you did the Bob Knight, Dale Brown thing?
I did.
You remember that quote?
I did. Then he looked down the bench and saw
Bob Knight said, I was worried we were going to lose the game. I looked down on the bench, saw Dale Brown over there, and thought, well, we're going to win this one.
No, I really did. That first split screen made me feel even more confident. I went, okay, this is exactly what I talked about all week long. You think you're going to come into New Orleans and boat race the Saints with this guy as your head coach? I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and the other thing was I was interested to see Kellen Moore against a reputable defense.
Dennis Allen outcoached him.
Yeah, Dennis Allen outcoached him big time. And the reason you could see it, we talked about this in the first segment, the number of times the Saints forced Dak into an audible and then changed their defensive approach. They showed double A gap pressure multiple times. For those that, if you want a quick primer, double A gap pressure means they've got the 2 linebackers sitting right on either side of the center, right in the gap between the center and guard. That's the A gap. So you got linebackers covering both of those gaps at the line of scrimmage. So immediately you've got to think, here comes blitz up the middle. You've got defensive tackles out over the guards. Well, now you've got 3 guys trying to block 4, so someone's going to come free. So Dak, they showed that look. Dak audibles out of it to something else. Well, then as soon as he audibles, the Saints audible themselves, and they stay there, but then at the snap, they drop 8, right? They're rushing 3, dropping 8. So he's looking at hot reads right off the bat because he's thinking there's a big blitz coming, so he's probably audibling to slants, quick outs, quick ends, crossers, short crossers, that kind of thing. Well, the Saints all of a sudden go into an 8-man zone, and none of that's open. And then you have, now you have to figure something out. So it was that, and it was the ability of Marshawn Lattimore, or as Michelle Tafoya called him, Marcus Lattimore, which then Marshawn corrected her, and she just kept going. But it was the ability of Marshawn Lattimore to lock down Amari Cooper which basically freed Dennis Allen to do what he wanted. Because with Marshawn Lattimore taking Cooper out, and with the defensive line and linebackers being able to hold Zeke Elliott down, Dennis Allen can call anything he wants. The world is his oyster at that point. He's not having to force safeties down for the run. He's not having to force safeties over the top for the pass and therefore opening up the run. Dennis Allen could play his safeties nice and comfortably deep. Didn't get beat deep. Weren't going to get beat deep. Let the front 5, 6, 7 guys take care of the run game. Dennis Allen had to be a kid in a candy store during that game because of the effectiveness of the guys that he had up front and Marshawn Lattimore, who's taking away your number one passing threat. Jeff said, let's see, where'd he go? Anybody that thinks a team is going to go to the Dome and house the Saints is nuts. By far the best team for tempo is the Pats. They can go super fast or slow. It's truly amazing. Yeah, the Patriots are really good at tempo. And that's what, and I really, honestly, I wish the Saints would do it more often. Not just at 2 minutes. Tempo that thing, earlier in the game. Because I think the Saints could steal points during the course of a game if they would go tempo like late first quarter or, early second quarter. Just one drive where you just go tempo. And when you got Breeze directing it, you got to feel pretty good about it. And Jeff said, but the Pats are crushing people. Their defense is easily the best in the league. They are doing very well at this point. All right, Raj, here comes the home deed giver. He's texted. Should I save it for after the break, Raj? Yeah, let's take a break. All right, so the man who said he would give up the deed to his home if the Cowboys did not go in and house the Saints has written in, Raj. We'll see what he has to say when we come back. That's a tease, folks. Professional broadcasting. That's a tease. Will he come through and give Rodgers the deed to his home? Remains to be seen. By the way, this text is really good. We'll come back.
New Orleans ladies, sassy style that will drive you crazy.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
Welcome to the Louisiana Workers for Edwards Rally. Tonight, we celebrate John Bell Edwards' accomplishments as governor.
Like what? Letting trial lawyers jack up our car insurance rates? Leading the country in lost jobs? Breaking his promise not to raise taxes? Guess the governor's got to fund sanctuary cities and benefits for illegal immigrants somehow.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Just a concerned citizen.
Well, where's everybody else?
Leaving the state, man, looking for work.
It's time for a governor who will grow jobs, not lose them.
I'm Eddie Risponi. I've spent most of my life helping create good jobs, and that's exactly what I'll do as your governor. I'm a businessman, not a career politician. I believe in hard work, not big government. If you want politics as usual, I'm not your guy. But if you want an outsider who will create record jobs, I'm asking you for your vote.
Conservative, businessman, outsider, Eddie Risponi for governor. Paid for by Eddie Risponi for governor.
Get your closet ready for fall with Macy's lowest prices of the season on specials. Feel fabulous from head to toe with 60% off sportswear for her, 50% off the latest handbags, and designer shoes are just $34.99 to $139.99. Plus, give your look some serious sparkle with 60% off select diamond pendants. And update his wardrobe, too. Take 60% off Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger suits. And get even more benefits no matter how you pay with Macy's Star Rewards. Savings off regular and sale prices. Exclusions apply.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public. So we decided to sing about it.
My Charmin clean booty is a thing of beauty. So nice, so fresh, so cutie. My booty, my booty. And these Charmin glossy got me feeling flossy. Cheeks so pretty from the nitty to the gritty. My Charmin clean booty is a thing of beauty. My Charmin booty beauty.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Don't put your life on the line when you dig. Do what the pros do. Respect the marks. Dig with care. And before you dig, call 811. Louisiana One Call.
Staples is more than a place you go to make copies.
It's where a conversation with an associate sparked the idea for my business card to double as a coupon. And it's where I go to reach potential customers with custom postcards.
Staples can help make your big ideas bigger ideas. And right now, when you make a select print and marketing services purchase, you receive 20% off your next order. Staples, for your business printing and beyond. In-store only, ends 11/9/19. Exclusions apply. See staples.com/print20 for details.
I promise that you'll never find another like me.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment. That's 4% cash back on milkshakes with extra whipped cream. And 4% to get extra loud at the show. The Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% on dining and 4% on entertainment. What's in your wallet?
Hey guys, it's Taylor. You can buy my new album Lover at taylorswift.com.
Terms apply. Capital One Bank, USA, N.A.
Hi, I'm Greg Tilley in Bossier City. Looking for a modular home? We've got them. 9-foot ceilings, 612 pitch roofs loaded with the same building materials as site built for a whole lot less money. Delivered up to 150 miles. Visit Greg Tilley's today or see our photo gallery at tillyshomes.com.
CBS Tonight. Don't miss a new episode of All Rise. LA's newest Superior Court judge is changing the system.
You're going to be one of those creative judges. You say it like it's a bad thing.
One case at a time.
Your Honor, we're going to trial.
Simone Missick is Judge Lola Carmichael.
Up on that bench. Everything is different.
Now it's her court and her rules.
Freedom is at stake. It's important.
The original new series, All Rise, CBS Tonight.
A heart in my tasty Honey Nut Cheerios? Cereal, you trying to tell me you love me?
Actually, it's reminding you that it can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Wait! They can help lower cholesterol? I've been so focused on the sweet, tasty taste that I completely forgot. Now I'm in love.
Learn more about making Honey Nut Cheerios part of your heart-healthy lifestyle by picking up a box at your local grocery store.
One of the cool guys I know, Rogers Hampton Jr. here. How cool do you like your house to be?
Hey, man, I like it to be my high school football number, 34 degrees.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I don't know. What do those mean?
I don't know either. We're going to the metric system soon. Book it.
I know who we can call to find out.
AccuTemp, 861-2255, 861-2255.
KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City. 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport and Bossier's #1 sports station.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. He's Rogers Hampton. I'm Patrick Netherton. We're pleased to have you with us today. By the way, Raj, someone texted in, Jeff said that's the best tease I've ever done going into a break. So there you go. If you'll recall, we had a texter last week. As a matter of fact, I'll just read it, Raj. How about that? Let's just go back and read it one more time. This was from Wednesday at 3:31 p.m. We're breaking down the Saints-Cowboys game. And this particular texter says, Rogers, I will bet the title to my home. The Cowboys walk in and house the New Orleans Saints. Terrible secondary. Yes, please. I'll take that against one of the best aerial attacks in football. I think he meant awful safeties, terrible linebackers. Lattimore got smoked for 150 plus. But a mediocre Lattimore. Cooper is going to have a field day with terrible defense. Basically 11 tombstones back there. Put 9 in the box, spy on Kamara, make Bridgewater beat you, throwing the ball downfield. I can guarantee after this beating, all we'll hear is, well, we didn't have Breeze. You can take those schedules and throw them out. This game won't be close. One more for Rodgers. The win last year against the Saints was with 3 backups on the offensive line. I'll be back on Monday afternoon to get Rodgers' take on this beating. He also said on Thursday, Raj, that you kept bringing up last year's 13-10 game. That was with 3 backup offensive linemen. They now have a healthy O-line, a much more mature QB who has complete control of the offense, which apparently just meant he just runs it a lot straight ahead. Not to mention a completely renovated offense, which I guess means you just run it straight ahead. It said something about middle school playground mentality. I would think by being on a sports show for years, by sheer osmosis, he'd have a better argument than that. I think, and then Raj, the part the really the chef's kiss to the end of it, after saying on Wednesday that he believed that Dallas was going to go in and house the Saints, he picked Dallas by 7. I think Dallas wins that game by 7, 28-21.
And see, right there is the issue, because if in a Cowboys' mind 7 is a housing, then there's never going to be any common ground because that's not a housing. And apparently my osmosis knows what it is.
Apparently
I've got some great osmosis because you were wrong on every point you made.
Well, now, Raj, he has texted in. Will he be giving you the deed to his home?
He's going to turn into a Louisiana crawfish.
Okay, for one, I'm not giving up my home.
Typical Dallas fan.
Hashtag Indian giver, which I think that might be racist. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know. I don't really know the origin story of that one. My rant was a hyperbolic statement fueled by false hope and heartbreaking delusion by a team that has done that with consistency for 40 years. We were exposed. Everyone was right. And Rodgers, look, you were right. By the way, he's going full Happy Gilmore here, and I applaud him for this.
Oh, yeah.
And watch. And Rodgers, look, you were right. I was wrong. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're good looking. I'm not very attractive. That's that. By the way, kudos to him for the Happy Gilmore quote right there. There I said it. We suck. Nothing else to say. The only caveat is that maybe, just maybe, each loss will be a day closer to getting rid of Garrett. Ciao, Roberto, which is Waterboy. Ciao, Roberto. That was Bobby Boucher's dad. By the way.
When in doubt, you don't know what you're talking about. Quote a movie.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Here's the reason that people, that Rodgers or anyone would take issue with what you said. It is not that you think Dallas would win, because honestly, I thought Dallas would win. To be real honest, I didn't know what was going to happen in that game. I didn't have a feel for the Saints-Cowboys game at all. But I don't think anybody was wrong in thinking that Dallas could go in and beat the Saints. That certainly was a very real possibility. Heck, Dallas was favored by 2.5, right? But it's the idea that the Cowboys are going to go in and house the Saints, that they're just going to beat them down, that they're so much better than the Saints are.
Oh, yeah, they shouldn't even be on the same playing field with the way he described it last week.
And that's the issue that so many Saints fans have with so many Cowboys fans.
Exactly, especially since I have been on the radio for 37 years and my osmosis knows what it's talking about, and I was dead on with every stinking point.
And it's not that you think your team will win. No one would begrudge you thinking the Cowboys would win. It's the idea that they are so much more, so much better and so much more talented and have so many better players than the Saints do, when that's just not the case. Those are two reasonably equal teams. They both have game-changing running backs. They both have great offensive lines. They both have great defensive lines. They both have good receiving cores. They both have one really good receiver. They both have good tight ends, although Jared Cook still needs to.
Was he called away from the Super Bowl last year, and one bad play away from the NFC Championship the year before?
Yeah.
With the same team or maybe better. That's what gets me about it. That you just blindly look at a team that was one play away from the Super Bowl, a team that just went to Seattle and won, that nobody's done in September since 2010 with a backup quarterback, and that you were just going to roll into New Orleans and house the New Orleans Saints. It just makes – and again, I guess my osmosis is just so brilliant that I'm the only one that can see that far into the future.
Well, Raj, it's because you've been around me so long.
That's
my
true.
Brilliance rubs off on you, clearly. Which
that's
is why,
just 20 years. Those other 17, that was a building block.
Well, you were dumb.
I was dumb
until
then.
20 years
I was
ago.
dumb then. I was dumb.
Rodgers was an idiot before he met me. Oh boy, Rodgers, you're number one guy that likes to get after you a little bit. No, this isn't that guy. Sorry. He did say, "How about them Texans?" Poor Texans.
2-2 in first place in the division.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that really?
Draco
and believe me, they win if the face mask call against Watson is called, and they get a first down that keeps that drive going. Oh my gosh! Everybody in the whole place saw the face mask.
Did you see Deshaun Watson's answer to the question that the reporter raised?
Well, yeah, we talked. We didn't get about it in detail this morning, but
it was so good,
dude.
It was it was a good question, And B, it was a great answer. And that's the thing that I love is, and everyone, one guy couched it as, Deshaun Watson 1, reporter 0. No, it was a good question, and it elicited a fabulous answer. That's all that reporters
want. And he wasn't being a smart ass about it either.
He was breaking it down.
He wasn't doing the Cam Newton. He wasn't doing the,
He said, the guy said, why weren't you able to go deep more often? Why weren't you throwing more deep passes, attacking? And he said, do you know what defense Carolina was playing? And he kind of started a little bit of that smart aleck.
No, it did. It started that way.
But then you could see him go, well, this is an opportunity for me to educate you. And he goes, then he literally explains they're playing 4 deep, which is also known as quarters. That's a defense that is designed to not get you beat. Safeties drop deep, corners drop deep, linebackers buzz out to the flats or kind of in the middle. Middle linebacker is playing kind of the middle of the field. It's a defense designed to not let you throw over the top. And he mentioned a couple of times they buzzed the safety down, and I had a chance to go over the top, and I missed. I had 2 chances, and I missed both of them. He said, but the rest of the time, they're dropping back. They're playing quarters. They're playing 4 deep. I never had a chance to go deep because of the way they were playing. And it was about a minute and 10, and he was giving a clinic. And also what it tells you, Raj, that, and I don't know that people really appreciate that, it tells you just how smart quarterbacks have to be to play in the NFL. That, Deshaun Watson is basically sitting there, and not only is he breaking down the coverages they're playing, but he was telling you individual plays. Well, they had, the safety came down, and so I had 1 deep, or 3 deep, 1 deep, whatever, and I had a dig from DeAndre had a dig, and I missed him. Like, to be able to have that level of recall on one play, that he knew exactly what the coverage was, he knew exactly what the route was, he knew he missed the guy, and he had another one where they were running a deep post or whatever. That was a fabulous answer to a good question. That was good all the way around, and it honestly, Raj, it kind of pissed me off that the Twitter guy was like, Deshaun Watson 1, reporter nothing. No, that wasn't a that's not what that was about. That was about a reporter asking a legitimate question, why didn't you go deep more often? And instead of the quarterback, the coach, the offensive coordinator, whatever, getting angry that they're questioning their play calling, he decided, let me help you understand why we aren't going deep. It was brilliant. Honestly, it makes me like Deshaun Watson even more to hear. Because, again, he started off a little smart alecky, and he's like, you know what? This is an opportunity to teach. And he did. And I loved it. Man, I loved that answer. I loved listening to it. It was really, really well done. Let's see. 318 said, I think the Saints D-line flat out whipped the Cowboys O-line all game long and took away the run game, which the Cowboys have to do to be successful on offense. I also think Garrett didn't want to give up any interceptions, so he handcuffed Dak from improvising too much. Both defenses played really well, and the Cowboys gave up the ball, which you absolutely cannot do in those games. That fumble at the end of the first half, which was pretty questionable to me, is the difference in the game. I agree with all of those points. I do think Jason Garrett made Kellen Moore lock down the offense and be more conservative, very Les Miles-like, to dabble in the offense and say, hey, let's keep it conservative. Let's play this game close. Our defense will win it for us. Now, the fumble at the end of the first half, I don't think that whatever the officials called on that would have been overturned. I think if the officials said it was a fumble, which they did, I don't think there was video evidence enough to overturn it, which they didn't. I think if they had said he was down by contact, I don't think there would have been enough evidence to overturn that either. I think that was one of those where you just didn't have enough conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field. Saints got lucky that the call on the field was a fumble. When I watched it, I saw elbow was down, but the ball was moving. And in the and I saw a Dallas reporter who said, well, it's very clear that the elbow was down as they were trying to rip the ball out. Well, as soon as the ball moves even a bit, that's deemed that you have lost control of the football. You're no longer in control. So if the elbow's down and the ball has moved at all, it's a fumble. But it was so close, it was so tight, that I don't think the officials would have overturned either one. Speaking of officials, my goodness, were they terrible last night. I mean, terrible. It was look, did the Saints hold a lot? Yeah, you bet they did. Absolutely. The whole Saints get called for roughing Dak when he slides, and then Teddy slides and gets hit, and they don't get called. Now, look, I do believe Jalen Smith was pulling off of him. I don't think there's any doubt. But he also did fall on his head. Even while he was trying his best not to hit him, he fell on his head. All right, so the league needs to do something about this. Because, look, I didn't think either one of them were penalties. I didn't think the one on Dak was a penalty. That I can't remember who got that. Do you remember? I think it was it Von Bell, maybe? I think it was Bell, who, by the way, had an amazing game, the safety for the Saints. I don't think that one should have been a penalty, and I don't think the one that they didn't call should have been a penalty either. But you got to be consistent. You either got to call both of them or none of them. And that's a problem in this league right now is there's no consistency. Raj, I saw a guy on our Boss Man's Facebook page, on Greg's Facebook page, who said, like, what were the Saints doing? Those idiots, they picked that ball up and ran it into the end zone after it bounced off the ground. I'm like, well, the whistle never blew. That was at the end of the game when the ball came out sort of sideways.
And the referee purposely.
Yeah.
After what happened
2 weeks ago.
Are you kidding me?
And last week?
Yes.
By the way, that's now 3 games in a row
that
the Saints have had a potential fumble return for a touchdown. Now, it was obvious. The ball came out forward from his hand. I didn't think that was at all. I didn't think it was a fumble. I think they got it right.
With the screw-ups they've had recently,
they can't do that.
You have to let that go.
And by the way, do you think after all the talk we heard that Carl Cheffers, who's the crew chief, after all the talk we heard about how nice Sean Payton was going to be to Carl Cheffers because they were 12-2 in games that he called, his crew called, I don't think he's on the Christmas list anymore. All the holding penalties, all the the Saints, I think, with 10 penalties in that game. And it was ugly. Now, look, a lot of it was because the D-line was being very disruptive. But I thought one of the 2 offensive pass interferences was good. I didn't think they both were. Obviously, there was a very questionable defensive pass interference call against the Saints. I thought one of the 2, the offensive ones that were called against Amari Cooper, was questionable. The other one wasn't even egregious that much either. But the league has a real problem right now with its officiating. And we keep talking about it, Raj. We mentioned a couple weeks ago. Make them full-time. Hire as many of them as you can. It's not going to cost you that much money to make these guys full-time officials.
It just doesn't seem like that's what they want to do, man.
No.
It just does not seem like that what the league wants to do.
And it shows because these
it's affecting your product, NFL.
Yeah, and these guys are getting killed, and half of what your social media is reacting to your league is complaining about officiating. Whereas, normally that might be a quarter, but everybody's complaining about officiating on every side. And that's the part that you've got to get better at if you're the NFL. You've got to figure out a way to get these officials to be a little bit more consistent because it is absolutely it's bad. It really is. It's bad. And I need, I think the people that watch the league, and look, college football is not, not a whole lot better. Our boy Timmy B. Raj mentioned that he wanted to see officiating become a national issue at the NCAA level. And I agree with him 100%. Take it away from the conferences. You shouldn't have crews that are calling games within your own league. You should have national crews that are calling games everywhere. Mike DeFee, who's, the latest bicep arm medium guy like, what's his face, Ed Hockley. By the way, did you notice his son is a referee now in the league? Ed Hockley's kid. He's our head referee for one of the NFL crews. But I need Mike DeFee to not only call an SEC game, but call a Pac-12 game, call a Big Ten game, call a Big 12 game. I need these guys rotating. I don't want to see the regionalization of college football anymore. Try to get it as much of a national game as you can. 318 said, I don't think Rodgers knows what osmosis is. Is his face really red right now? Can you see him over your mic? I mean, come on, man. I'll talk to you when you lose to the Bucks. And that's, by the way, the house deed guy who's chiming back in. I would just sit this one out, Podna.
I think you need to back off right now, dude. If you hadn't learned your lesson now, then I don't know what else to tell you. You were wrong on every point you made toward me.
Rogers,
what else am I supposed to do? Just let that go?
And by the way, Rogers' face is not red right now.
Yeah.
He's not worked up about it.
And again, I was making fun of your use of osmosis.
Skins Daddy says, "Get him, Hambone. Hey, my team sucks. Ciao, Patrick. LOL." There you go. T-Gage said, "Said it before, and I'll say it again. Preach on, Mr. Hampton. Preach on." So there you go. We got everybody all fired up here. All right, I got to tell you how I did in my picks and Rogers' picks. We got to do that. And what else on the docket, Raj? I'm trying to think what else. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? I don't know. Maybe more Cowboys-Saints breakdown? Tell you why. Again, and here's what I need to know from Cowboys fans. Do you think your team was exposed? Do you think you just ran into finally a good team and that you could have won or lost that game against another good team in the NFL? Do you think that it was an aberration? Do you think you're going to go 15-1? Do you think, now maybe we're more realistic about how this season's going to go? I want to know what Cowboys fans think, because I felt like a whole lot of them thought they were going to go in and just run roughshod over the Saints after the 3-0 start to their season. When in reality, they had not played anybody. And again, we go back to this. There's very real truth to the idea that when you don't play anybody, you don't get tested, and the true measure of your team is not shown at that point. So, give us a phone call at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. Give us a text at 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. Take a break. It's the Patrick Netherton Show with calm, confident Rogers Hampton on 1130 The Tiger.
What has happened down here is the wind have changed.
1130 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric.
Welcome to Walk-On's Bistro and Bar, where every dish starts from scratch. Fresh ingredients bring our food to life. Mouth-watering cuisine, unique flavors, and we're always more than happy to share our Southern charm and culture. A love of life, family, food, friends, fun, sports, and celebrations. Walk-Ons. It's game day with the taste of Louisiana.
Life is all about taking advantage of the opportunities that present themselves and also creating those advantages. And if you are with First Choice Personnel, Nicole, you've got an advantage over everybody else, right?
You do. Actually, once you are registered with us, we're able to send your resume over to our employer as opposed to the employer receiving 600 resumes. You know, you'd be one person opposed to a bunch.
I like that. One person instead of a bunch. First Choice Personnel. Make First Choice your last call. 797-7810.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With the Quicksilver card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase. Unlimited? Unlimited? Unlimited! 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 Any way you say it, earning unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase just sounds good. Capital One. What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet?
Capital One Bank USA, N.A.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Amazing. It's kind of like being showered with cash from above, which would also be pretty amazing. It's so amazing that millions of people a year are getting their cash back matched. They just can't get enough. So whether it's raining down on your head or raining into your bank account, it's your cash back, and Discover is matching it. Discover Cashback Match. What are you waiting for? Learn more at discover.com/match.
You're in charge of hiring,
And Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. We'll also have a dolphin chatter excitedly in front of the perfect candidate. Okay, there's no dolphin. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Is it time to redo your back patio or kitchen? Or what about finally getting to those little projects finished around your house? Football season is here, and you want your house looking amazing before all the house parties start. So call H2 Home Renovations. They'll have your home looking its best in no time. Check out some of their work online. Just go to h2homerenovations.com to find out more info. H2 Home Renovations. Reimagine your home.
Nature Valley brings that satisfying crunch that gets your family going again with real delicious honey and whole grain oats. So get out here. Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Bars. The original crunch.
Rogers, are you a guy that likes the house cooler during the daytime, or do you like it cool when you go to Betty Bye?
I like it cool when it's Betty Bye time.
Oh, me too, buddy. Is there not a better feeling than just kind of when you get up in the morning and it's like ice cold after you get out of the sheets and blankets?
It's so cold you don't want to get out of bed, but it made being in bed that much better.
That's what AccuTemp's all about, making being in bed that much better. 861-2255.
It takes both vision and skill to create a pool as unique as it is beautiful. A perfect blend of time-honored craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. The hand, heart, and mind working in perfect sync to create something truly special. A source of timeless relaxation, priceless memories, and endless joy. That is the mission of a master pool builder, and that is the magic of Moorhead Pools.
If it's LSU sports, it's on 1130 The Tiger.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Welcome you back. Man. When's the last time I heard this song not at a ballpark or game or something? What is this actually called? Rock and Roll Part 2. Yeah. Gary Glitter, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, again, it's Raj. You think you're proud of me, Raj. But the only reason I remember these things is because I can see the name in my mind. It's not because I know. Yeah, like I can see it when I. Now, some of them, like Randy Newman, you just know his voice. I mean, that is one of the most iconic voices you're going to find. I mean, the dude literally wrote the theme for Toy Story and Monk and Short People, Roger's theme song. He loves short people having no reason to live. If you want to call us, you can, 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. If you want to text us, you can at 318-657-0-HAM, 318-657-0426, taking all your Cowboys and Saints thoughts. Also, we haven't even got into college football at all from this past week. But, Raj, just looking at the NFL stuff, a couple of news and notes as we go along. How bad is Atlanta? I mean,
surprisingly,
they get beaten down by Tennessee in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's the part that
they were.
Tennessee's not that good.
Atlanta was a 3.5-point favorite, and they lose by 14 to Tennessee. I'm wondering how much longer
Quinn the Eskimo.
I'm wondering how much longer Brian Quinn has. By the way, Brian Quinn is one of the impractical jokers.
Yeah. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the bloom maybe.
I do too.
What are the gild off the lily or whatever?
Yeah, whatever they're
going to say. Another huge surprise. Cleveland goes into Baltimore and puts up 40. Baltimore was a 7-point favorite. Nick Chubb, by the way, did you see, Raj? Nick Chubb had the fastest speed, I think, for any player this year.
I did see that.
That's unbelievable. That game was 10 to 7 at halftime. 10 to 7 at halftime. And by the way, I took the over in that game, Raj. And I'm like, 10 to 7 halftime. I'm like, well, that's a loss.
That is, yeah.
That's a loss. Then they come out and score frickin' 75 in the second half. I actually scored, 30 and 18, 48 in the second half. So they actually hit the over-under for the game in the second half alone. But, Mayfield looking good. Chubb is fantastic. I mean, and this vaunted Ravens defense. By the way, remember how good the Ravens offense was? Everyone was talking about how great it was. Well, while you weren't looking, they've kind of come back to earth a little bit. Mark Ingram not quite having the same effect, although he ran for 71 yards on 12 carries. Lamar Jackson, 247, 3 touches, 2 picks. Maybe not quite as good as we thought they were. One of my picks was New England -7 against Buffalo. Would have been a push, Raj, but they missed an extra point, did New England. But still beat Buffalo. And the thing is, they were up, 13-0, I believe, and driving. And Brady threw his first pick in the end zone since 2016. Or else they would have covered right then and there. It would have been, 20-0, and they probably would have gone on to cover. But as it were, the Patriots just held on and held on. I think they ended up getting a defensive play, and there was some controversy from this game. Jonathan Jones, the safety for the Patriots, went helmet to helmet on Josh Allen and did not get ejected. And a lot of people thought that was perhaps it was a block punt that they returned for the touchdown. I knew they had some sort of return for a touchdown. Then they had to bring in Matt Barkley. You might remember Matt Barkley. Was that guy? Yeah, was that guy? I didn't know he was in the league. Another one, Kansas City goes into Detroit. Detroit winning that game for most of the way. Detroit cannot hold on. Ultimately, Kansas City comes in to win. By the way, did you see the improvised hook and ladder they ran? That was the thing of beauty, because you could tell that wasn't planned. Travis Kelce, the tight end, comes down with the ball, and then just at the last second flips it back to the tailback who took off with it. And it was very obvious that they had not planned that. But it was really well done, very effective. That was after Patrick Mahomes had converted a 4th down on a run. And, man, he's impressive. He's thrown at least 2 touchdowns in 14 straight games now. The guys they keep doing impressive stuff, but they barely won. I mean, they needed a comeback late to win. Is Cam Newton done? Should we just go ahead and tell Cam Newton to either leave or retire? Because the Panthers appear to be better without him than they are with him. Kyle Allen wasn't great. He had 3 fumbles in that game. As Rodgers mentioned, there was a face mask at the end that didn't get called. But ultimately, the Panthers were able to end up with a 16-10 win. Rodgers, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Kyle Allen's undefeated as a starter. He has 3 starts now. He started the one game at the end of the season against the Saints. I think they won that one last year. I believe he's 3-0. So I'm not 100% about it. The one thing that bothers me, Raj, about the Texans, though, is I'm just not, I keep saying it, and I don't have a real good reason for it. I'm just not a big Bill O'Brien fan. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because the offense, when they lose, the offense seems to be the culprit. It's never, we scored 35 and the other team scored 40. It always seems to be the other team just shut them down and held you to 10. I don't know. The Bill O'Brien, there's always something about him that hasn't struck me well. I don't feel like he's a guy that you can win a Super Bowl with. I feel like, obviously, they've won divisions, they've gotten in the playoffs, that kind of thing. He just has never felt to me like a guy that goes and wins a Super Bowl. And I don't know why. I don't have a good concrete reason for it. It's just something about his personality. It always seems like he's searching for answers at the end of these types of games, and these games happen. too often. Raj, Oakland went into Indianapolis and beat Indianapolis. Vontez Burfict, the linebacker for Oakland, is gone for the year now, has been suspended by the NFL for too many personal fouls. Basically, they said, you keep getting these fines, we keep hitting you with these fines, and you're gone now. And so Vontez Burfict will be suspended for the rest of the year. It is the longest suspension given by the NFL for a personal foul type situation. He hit one of the Indianapolis receivers, just went helmet to helmet on him, and it was bad. It was not good. Things got worse for the Broncos. Their linebacker Chubb out for the year with an ACL. Chicago Bears lost Mitchell Trubisky. Jay Gruden not saying who he's going to start after they got beat down. Daniel Jones mania continues, 24-3. Raj had this one pegged. Seattle going into Arizona and taking care of the Cardinals. Seattle won that one 27-10. Chargers took care of Miami. Everyone, I think, kind of saw that happening. Miami is
a hot mess.
They are
not just
bad.
the city, but the team.
Yeah. And then I think arguably, I'm not even going to say arguably, Raj. I'm going to say the most surprising score of the entire weekend, unless something ridiculous happens tonight in Cincinnati-Pittsburgh, like Pittsburgh wins 105-7 or something. The most incredible score of the weekend, Raj. Tampa, 55 at the Rams. I mean, wow. Who saw that coming? And by the way, Jared Goff, are we sure Jared Goff's a good quarterback? Are we sure Jared Goff's a good quarterback and deserves the massive raise that he got? Are we 100% sure about that? I don't know why. I love that voice. Secondhand news guy Anthony Crispino. I'm just saying, I'm not entirely sure we know exactly if Jared Goff is the guy. Because every time you come at him and you blitz him, or you put pressure on him, or even in the case of a lot of things that happened last week, Tampa was, or I guess yesterday, Tampa was doing a lot of the stuff the Saints were doing to the Cowboys. They were bluffing blitzes to one side. They were dropping a couple of the interceptions that Goff threw were on plays where he got fooled by the coverage. A linebacker would drop into space. One of them, the fourth down they called, they were running a little screen to the right, and the defensive end on that side just ran out there and got in front of it. It was impressive. So, I don't know. I'm not 100% if Jared Goff is really the answer. I don't think he is. And if I'm a fan of the Rams, I'm concerned. I just don't know if you are good enough, if you're the Rams, to overcome what he's doing. I'm just not sure. Rogers, by the way, I'm looking at the NFL pick'em. I forgot who I picked this week, but I picked the Chiefs to beat Detroit, so I got a late win and won that one. And so I'm trying to see how many people are still in it. There's a lot. 135. There we go. There's where we stop. So 142 people are still alive out of 420 entries. 142 are still alive in the Bayou Bell Waste pick'em pool. Although someone's about to go out because they didn't pick someone this week. They forgot. So we're going to go down. And then several people picked the Monday night game. So we may see there's a chance that we're going to see some losses as well tonight. So my guess is probably when it's all said and done, less than 140 people will be left in the survivor pool that Tim Fletcher has going for Bayou Bell. All right, let's take a break. Let's run down our picks when we come back. Rogers, another non-losing week for him. Unfortunately, mine, well, I'm just nothing but a loser. For the first time, I actually had a losing week. But Air Supply will make sure I don't feel bad about myself while I'm lying in bed, lying awake, my head on the phone, thinking of you till it hurts. It's Patrick Netherton Show.
Lying alone with my head on the phone, thinking of you till it hurts.
These are dark times for us chicken fans. One of our favorite places to eat on Uri Drive is closed for construction for a couple of months, but have no fear, Walk-Ons is here. They have got your chicken strips, your boneless chicken nuggets, your chicken sandwiches, your waffle fries. They've even got sweet and sour sauce packets, honey mustard packets to go with those chicken strip meals. And to make it even more convenient for you, 8 spots at the Walk-Ons parking lot for you to pull in and pick up. They will bring you your chicken with curbside service. Walk-Ons to save the day.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's Babbel.com. Be a flu fighter with a free flu shot from Walgreens. It's no cost to you with most insurance. It's quick, easy, with no appointment needed. Plus, it lowers your chances of spreading the flu to the people you care about most. Get your flu shot at Walgreens and get $5 off an eligible purchase of $20 now through November 30th. This is your shot to protect you and the ones you love. Be a flu fighter. Walgreens. Trusted since 1901. Coupon offer not valid in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. See coupon for terms and restrictions. Vaccines subject to availability and some restrictions may apply.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Yoto, my office, now! Limu, Doug, you're being transferred across town.
Oh, because they haven't heard that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
No, it's because Limu keeps eating the chips on Janine's desk. And her keyboard, and her expense reports, and her stress balls, and her...
Liberty. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Okay, you know how it feels when you've saved enough for that long-awaited home edition? Now imagine an addition on that addition. Whoa. That's the feeling with Capital One, where a new savings account earns an interest rate 5 times the national average. That's right, 5 times, as represented by 5 times more singers. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Rate comparison based on FDIC national rate. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
What I'm about to tell you is going to give you sleepless nights. Thousands of Louisiana criminals, many convicted of serious crimes, have quietly been released early from jail. Now they're secretly living in local neighborhoods, like yours. How's this possible? Because liberal state senators Ryan Gaddy and John Milkovich did what liberals love to do. They took the side of criminals over victims. Gaddy and Milkovich passed sweeping new laws that allow criminals to get out of jail early, skip making alimony payments, skip paying their bills, and even lets them vote while on parole. And the results have been tragic. 25% of the criminals Gaddy and Milkovich helped release from jail committed another crime, including murders. 5 lives gone forever. What's as dangerous as violent criminals in your neighborhood? Liberals like Ryan Gaddy and John Milkovich that enabled it to happen. Paid for by Louisiana Committee Conservative Majority, 2900 Clearview, Metairie. LouisianaCommitteeConservativeMajority.com.
Tiger weather now.
Cooling off some as we move into the latter half of this week into the upcoming weekend, but over the next few days, hot temperatures are going to continue. Sunshine today, 94. A fair sky tonight, low 70. Sunny, hot tomorrow, 95 are high. And abundant sunshine at midweek with Wednesdays high in the mid-90s. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City. 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport and Bossier's #1 sports station.
We got a first on the Patrick Netherton Show, Raj. Didn't know we could, did you? Raj, we got an email. even give out the email address.
Where did they send it to?
They sent it to the show email address, which is on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to send an email, you can. It's nethertonshow@gmail.com. Like, feel free. But I didn't realize anyone knew it. I mean, I do have it on the Facebook page, so I guess. All of a sudden, this is Jim Rome up in here. We're getting emails. Are we getting the... Do we have an email jingle, Raj? Email with Patrick Netherton. Email. Raj, this is from Quentin. Quentin said, first timer. Appreciate it, Quentin. You can text if you like, if you don't want to email. 318-657-0426. I'm a Cowboy till I die. Hoped we would win, but not the end of the season. Correct. Saints played man the entire game, even when most would have went into prevent in under 2 minutes. I'll tell you about that in a sec. We got out-coached, and I got to give props to y'all's D-line and Lattimore. Showed us we got some work to do, but glad we played y'all to the end. Real glad Breeze was on the sideline. All right, let's break this down. Number one, stop saying y'all. I don't play for the Saints. While I am not a 100% neutral observer, I would consider myself 80% neutral in this. I've tamped down my Saints fandom a lot since I was a kid. Basically, since the Super Bowl, I kind of like, well, the Saints have won the Super Bowl. You know, I can kind of just relax now. The Saints did it. They won a Super Bowl. Never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. I can just chill for the rest of the way. And I try to be as objective as I can doing a radio show. This is not, Raj is a Saints and a Texans fan, no doubt about it. I try to be as objective as I can. Does that mean I like the Cowboys? No, I will never like the Cowboys. But I try to be objective when I can, and heck, I even picked Dallas. Although, again, I really didn't have a good feel for that game at all. I didn't know what that game was going to do. Secondly, Saints played man the entire game, even when most would have went prevent in under 2 minutes. They didn't actually. They played a combination of man and zone, what's called a man under. All right, so the corners are manned up, the safeties are playing back, and they're free to play zone with man concepts underneath that. Or sometimes they played combo defenses where half the field was playing man and half the field was zone, where Lattimore would lock down Amari Cooper, and then if there was another receiver on that side, it would be man with a safety, but then the other side of the field was zone. They didn't just play man, just straight man, hardly at all during that game. There were a couple of times on the short yardage situations where they did. They played zero man, which means there's not a safety back, or they played man free, which means you have one safety back. But they very rarely got into just straight man coverage without some safety over the top. And it was Marshawn Lattimore that allowed them to do that because he was playing so well against Amari Cooper. But again, because the Saints front was not allowing the run game to be effective, they didn't have to get their safeties involved. Now, they did. They brought their safeties up from time to time. But for the most part, they were able to handle it up front with just their front guys, their front four linemen, couple of linebackers, three linebackers, whatever the case may be. But, Quentin, I appreciate the email, man. Absolutely. Again, you're correct. You hoped they'd win, but it's not the end of the season. No, it was the fourth game of the season. All right? Cowboys are very good. No one's doubting that. Saints are very good. I think a lot of people may have doubted that their ability to still be very good without Drew Brees, and what they're proving is they can win with defense. Now, I think that bodes well for the rest of the season because it just proves that the Saints can find a way to win defensively if they have to. They don't necessarily have to play. They don't have to play an offensive style of game to win every week, week in and week out. Raj Buster said Mitchell Trubisky needs to watch wrestling so he can learn how to go down. Well, he kind of got pushed down awkwardly and sort of rolled up on his shoulder. That's one thing about wrestling is those guys are cooperating with each other. So they're actively making sure they don't hurt each other. Definitely not the case in the NFL. They're more like actively making sure they do hurt each other. That's what they're looking at. Give us a call at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. Give us a text at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. High Rail jumped in and said, how about them Cowboys? Laughing face emoji, crying face emoji, crying face emoji, thumbs up. Yes, High Rail. How about them Cowboys? Jeff said Jared Goff is real close to Dak. He needs a running game or he can't win. Look at the Super Bowl. Yeah, he also said over-under wins for the Dolphins. Raj, this is an interesting question. Over-under for the number of wins for the Dolphins. He said he thinks the over-under is 1. Would you go over or under 1 win for the Dolphins for the entire season? That's actually a really, really curious question. You know what? I want to look at their schedule real quick because they're bad, right? We know they're bad.
I mean, I can't pick one. It has to be 0 or 2.
0 or 2. Well, you pick over under, and if it ends up being 1, then it's just a push.
Oh, okay.
You're right. So
I think they'll at least stumble into 1.
Okay, so you think 2?
I don't know if I could go that far. I say somewhere along the way, everybody's going to stumble into some kind of victory.
Raj, let's look at their schedule. Oh, you know who's next on their list?
Miami.
The Redskins.
Oh, no.
Oh,
where is it?
It's in Miami.
There's the one.
I mean,
Redskins are a hot mess.
They have a bye week, and then they play the Redskins.
Oh, they got 2 weeks to get ready for them. And Washington, they may not even have a head coach by then. Washington, he might be gone. We don't know who their starting quarterback is. Redskins camp is a hot mess.
All right, let's see what else let's see if we can get them another win, Raj.
Wish they had Teddy Bridgewater.
Let's see if we can get them another win, Raj. All right, Redskins, we're saying that's their best chance for a win.
Right now, yes.
All right, at Bills, not likely. At Steelers, not likely. Jets at home, I think Captain Kissing disease is probably going to be back at that point, so I don't like their chances. At the Colts, not likely. Bills at home, no. At the Browns, no. Eagles at home, no. At the Jets, no. At the Giants, not likely. Bengals at home, at the Patriots. Raj, I got 2 chances for them to win a game. Redskins in 2 weeks and Bengals at home in December.
Whoo!
I mean,
wow.
I mean, at Bills, at Steelers,
wow.
Jets at home, at the Colts, Bills at home, at the Browns, Eagles at home, at the Jets, at the Giants, Bengals at home, at the Patriots. I mean, I think the Bengals home game, at that point, the Bengals probably are out of it. They may not even be, they may just be playing young guys or who knows. I don't know, man. I don't see that second win anywhere in there. I mean, obviously we barely see a first win. So it's kind of hard to think there may be a second win. But if you look at it, I mean, Redskins in 2 weeks off a bye, and then maybe the Bengals at home 3 days before Christmas. You know, Bengals might be looking ahead to Christmas, Raj, at that point. They're probably out of it. Probably, you know what, we're just thinking about Christmas time, being home with our families, and the Dolphins sneak up and take one from them. And they get to 2-14.
They're the Grinch that steals Christmas.
That's right. Stealing the Christmas from the Bengals.
Yeah. Go get them in Whoville.
Oh, man. What a terrible, terrible team. So 318 Raj sent a meme that said, it shows the Dolphins, and it says, if you're not with us this year when we go winless, don't jump on the bandwagon next year when we go 2-14.
Because that momentum trains are rolling at that point, brother.
You're dang right. Jeff said he thinks the over-under for the Dolphins, he thinks it's 0. He thinks they're that bad. I will say this. I do like that Josh Rosen is in at quarterback. I like Josh Rosen. I think he's a smart kid. I think he's pretty good. I think he got a real raw deal in Arizona. I think eventually he could be pretty good. Now, the team around him, when they're all jumping ship like the Titanic sinking, like I don't know about the rest of those guys, but I do like Rosen a little bit. Brian said on the Facebook live feed, I'm a Saints fan and predicted 24-13 Cowboys. I was right on the Saints' offensive production, but didn't see that defensive performance out of the Saints after giving up 500-plus yards to Seattle. Well, and remember, it was a different game plan against Seattle. You don't fear the run game in Seattle like you fear the run game for Dallas, so you play differently. And because of that, the Saints were playing a lot softer to try not to get beat by Seattle, and Russell Wilson runs around, makes plays, able to get things done with his arm, and Marshawn Lattimore did not play well. Has not played well at all until yesterday when he was the Marshawn Lattimore that they drafted. By the way, did you hear how many dang the Ohio States we got in the starting lineup last night? Oh, my goodness. Everybody, and did you know, I don't know if you noticed, but they cut them off. They wouldn't let them say university. So it would just be the Ohio State. Blah, 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 Brigham Young. Taysom Hill, Brigham Young. Marshawn Lattimore, the Ohio State. Like, they would cut it off before they got through university. I think just for time. Because the Ohio State University takes a lot of time to say. It was, it makes the lineup a little bit faster. All right, let's take our last break. Oh, there we go. One of my favorite videos of all time set to this song. When ESPN did in 2000 or at the end of 1999 when they did the Century retrospective and set it to Dream On, still one of the best videos ever made. It was unbelievable. I wish you can find it on YouTube, but the quality's not real high. I wish they'd re-release that thing in high def because it's amazing.